Good morning and happy Sunday. If you've ever tried everything you know how to do to help a child and somehow it still isn't working, this is that kind of question. My 14-year-old granddaughter is struggling with anxiety and a strong fear of anything medical like needles, ambulances, even talk about sickness. It's gotten so intense she won't even go to a school or see a doctor. Her parents don't know what to do. I'm really glad this question was sent in because when you're in this as a family, it wears you down. You try to help, you try to stay calm, and you try to make sense of it. And after a while, it just doesn't add up. So let's slow this down and look at what's underneath it. What you're seeing isn't a kid being difficult. You're watching a kid whose body is reacting like something is wrong, when everyone else can see that it isn't. So when she hears anything about doctors' needles, or people being sick, or even school, her body doesn't slow down and think it through. It just reacts and moves her away from it. It's a lot closer to what happens if a car swerves into your lane or you almost fall. You don't stop and sort it out first. Your body reacts, and then your brain tries to catch up. So once that reaction kicks in with your granddaughter, it's not something you can talk her out of, even in the moment. You can explain it, you can stay calm, and try to guide her through it. And her body is still going to pull her away. Over time, her body gets really good at staying away from anything that feels like that. The distance gets bigger, and the next time it comes up, it hits even faster. That's how you end up where the very thing that could help her is the exact thing she can't get near. This is usually where the thoughts start stacking up for families. We have to get her to a doctor. We have to fix this. We can't keep going like this. Of course you feel that. But if you try to force it too fast, you're likely making the fear stronger, not smaller. And it's not because she's choosing that. Her body is learning that this whole situation is something to escape. And this is the part most people don't talk about. This is what ridiculously real mental health actually looks like in real life. You're not dealing with behavior here, you're dealing with a body that thinks it's in danger, and it's reacting accordingly. So the goal needs to shift. Right now, it's not about getting her into a doctor's office. It's about helping her get a little closer to anything medical in a way her body can handle. And then letting that feeling settle before moving again. And I mean small. Sitting in a parked car near a clinic, walking near the entrance or leaving. Even talking about it briefly and noticing when her body starts to react. It doesn't look like much, but that's where things start to shift. You're not trying to get her to push through it. You're helping her get used to it without overwhelming her. And success here isn't getting all the way inside the doors. It's staying there just long enough for her body to settle, even a little, before she steps away. Another piece that helps is giving her some control. Right now, I'm willing to bet this probably feels like a lot of adults deciding what needs to happen and when. And when someone already feels overwhelmed, that can make her pull back even harder. So instead of moving her through it, bring her into it. How close feels okay today? How long do you want to stay? She's still guided, but she's not trapped inside it. You mentioned she talked to a counselor outside. That tells you something important. She was able to connect, just not in that office setting yet. There are professionals who understand how to start there. They'll meet outside. They'll sit in the car, begin over video. And she doesn't have to do this alone either. Someone sitting with her, walking up with her, not pushing, just being there, helps her body realize she's not facing it by herself. And medication may become part of this, but right now the barrier isn't medication. It's getting her to a place where she can tolerate any kind of help at all. And that starts with helping her feel safer, not pushing her faster. I also want to say something to the parents. If you've already pushed harder than you wanted to, that doesn't mean you've made things worse beyond repair. It means you were scared, and you're trying to help. You're not off track here, and you didn't cause this either. You're dealing with something that doesn't respond to pressure the way people expect it to. It responds to slower steps, steadiness, and repetition. And slow doesn't mean nothing is happening. This is how this kind of fear actually starts to loosen. School matters, of course it does. But right now, the bigger issue is helping her tolerate support at all. When that shift starts, school starts to feel more possible again. So if you take anything from this, take this. You don't have to solve the whole thing at once. Help her take one step she can handle. Let it settle, and then circle back to it. That's where real progress comes from. And if this hits close to home for your family, I'll put a few trusted next steps with my episode at drshannon.org. Thank you for trusting me with this. And if you're watching this and this feels familiar, this kind of fear can take over more than people expect, but it can also shift when it's handled in a way the body can actually tolerate. If you want to share your story or a question, email me at drshannon@kfes12.com. And always remember, you are worth it. Lean into being the best version of yourself, one small step at a time. Happy Sunday.